Hey everybody, just want to give a quick update on some projects that we have. Some are ongoing, some are brand new. And first one I should talk about is Eddie just acquired this 1960s, what he calls cross handlebar, probably because it doesn't really cross over, but it does come up like that. And yeah, they're almost like bicycle handlebars, lawnmowers. So Eddie's 13, and he's probably since he was like 6 or 7 has wanted one of these. And has a funny story to it because it showed up on eBay, right? And normally vintage lawnmowers or whatever are pickup only, but it did have a shipping charge, and you could have it shipped. So I negotiated with the guy on the price and made a deal. This was after Eddie negotiated an IOU with Bank of Dad, and so it got shipped via, I think it was FedEx, UPS, I think it was UPS. And I expected the seller, and this is not on the seller at all, because I didn't know you could do this. I expected the thing to be folded up, probably all the fluids to be drained and whatnot. Well, lo and behold, it was delivered like this. So I just could imagine the look on people's faces at UPS when when this came through. And you can see the tracking information there. And I guess on the Ring camera, you can go back and look, but like you literally see the guy like take it out of the UPS truck and like push it up the driveway. Anyway, so that's kind of a cool little story. So the big thing here was it's not seized, and the frame, while we have in the past like bailed on a frame and located a new one, but we wanted to try to keep it all original. So in this case, we looked, and this frame is actually, despite the rust, there's no holes in it. So we got that to work with. Wheels, I don't know which ones were original. I think the rears probably were, because Eddie has his, if you follow his channel, his rust bucket project that we completed a few years ago, and the stock wheels look more like that. These are still old. I like the white walls on them, but you can see a chunk is missing out of that front one. So we probably have some spare wheels floating around we can just throw on just to roll it around if we need to. But the first order of business with this is, will it run? And I sound like, if you guys follow a bunch of channels, you might have heard of the channel No Nonsense, No How. He got his start by doing with vehicles and boats, even motorcycles. Will it run? You find something in the woods and try to get it running on the spot. So anyway, we're gonna do our own version of that. First, we're gonna get it running to a reasonable degree. And then once that happens, we will likely tune the whole thing up, go through it, and then the restoration will begin with the motor parts and the body. Now, this was originally a white Briggs Stratton, and I've never had a white one, nor has Eddie, so this is gonna be kind of fun for us. All right, so what else do we have going on here? You can probably see the rolled up carpet. So this past week, I finally set up the guest room here, or I call it the YouTube visitor room. I have some friends out there who I've met through YouTube, and if they ever want to come yonder up to New England, we got a place for you. It's not an open invitation for anyone. But I had put some stuff in there as I was setting up the house this spring. One was the living room carpet that I inherited. I didn't know what to do with it. I think what we're gonna do is lay it in the garage. I know from experience, even with heat in the garage, when it drops below 30 degrees in the winter and you're trying to do projects, you gotta wear double socks at least, because that concrete gets cold. This mower here, so we're gonna deal with that. This mower here, I found on the side of the road for the most part in 2020. The only thing that was wrong with it was the pull string was broke. So I used it for a number of years. I did replace the front wheels on it. Mistakenly, I got wheels that I think are too small. They should be a little bigger. But what I wanted to do is upgrade to steel or metal wheels because they just roll way better. And this really was in service up until like last year or so. This lawnmower showed up on the channel now and again. I think I have a carburetor problem. And look, I am not a mechanic, but I have been through these 3.5 Briggs Stratton motors enough times that I know that basically I know what I'm doing. So clearly I don't know what I'm doing because I have changed the diaphragm multiple times on this, and I've done that bunches of other times in other mowers with no problems. I've rebuilt carburetors, I've replaced carburetors, blah, blah, blah. I've cleaned this carburetor so many times. I have messed with the diaphragm so many times. I just cannot get it to run properly. It went from not running well to not running at all to then getting it to a point where it was running again, but not running great. So I'm on the right path. I stayed away from it for probably like 10 months because I was just getting frustrated with it. But the goal for this one this is 1986 here. So interesting. For years though, they kept the same recipe, which is just awesome, which is really, really cool. So what I want to do is once I get that going again, because it has been tuned, I have changed the oil in this, it's just like sharpened blade and all that. But the long-term deal is I want to restore this. There's some pinholes in the frame. I want to Bondo those, sand them down. I want to sand this whole thing down. I want to replace the Murray 22-inch decal with a new one or stencil. I'd probably protect those labels there. So I really want to do that, but before I do that, I want to make sure it's running properly. And it was running great before all that issue. And this for me would be a keeper. I'd use it as a trim mower on this property. Get light use. Probably rotate it with my Honda in and out, and that's it. That's all I would personally want, unless I happen to stumble across like my childhood lawnmower that my parents had when I was young. But that was a Channel branded lawnmower, or it was branded Yardmaster, and it had 3.5 Briggs with the side. It was mounted like this, but with the side pull start and the kill switch on the throttle. No safety handle. It was like in 1980. Other than that, I think I'm going to keep my collection to 2. Eddie has 4 lawnmowers, 2 here, 2 at the other location. One is the one we found in the woods in like 2019, which we named Rust Bucket. It's restored, it's functioning. Needs some tweaks though. We haven't really used it much this year because it needs a little tweaking, but normally it's in service. And then his Honda HR215, which segues into this next project. So this needs a carb clean, and we started this. The video might have aired by the time this one airs. Basically, we have to fully remove the carburetor. I had a checkout video of this. Just by sound, the guy even said, someone commented, very, very, very helpful, thank you, and said, yeah, you need to clean that carb. And that was just when it was running, because I guess it wasn't running as it should. So now it totally won't run, so we have to take care of that. And we'll get that done. And he also posted a wonderful video, or he shared a video in the comments of someone doing the exact carb, and he gave me some tips as well. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I already talked to Eddie about that, as this is his lawnmower. This was a free lawnmower he found last fall. It's amazing when people realize what they don't have, kind of thing. And the only thing that was wrong with it at that time was it had a broken pull string, and they just left it in front of their house with a free sign on it. This is my Honda, owned it since 2015. Nothing's going on there. It's just a in-service lawnmower. It's not self-propelled. I did that intentionally at the time. That being said, in the neighborhood, at the other location, somebody's selling the exact same one in their yard. It's in their yard, and except there's a bag. Well, this has a bag too. It's hanging up. Except it's self-propelled, and it looks like it has less hours than this one. And he's selling it for $75. I just got done saying to you, 2 lawnmower is enough. I thought about acquiring it just because I know it's worth more than $75. Easily 100. likely 150, 125, 150, somewhere in there. And I'm going back and forth. I kind of hope someone buys it so I don't have to make a decision. Someone makes a decision for me. All right, so we brought this over. This is my like lawnmower lift. This, I think, can hold like 2,000 pounds, maybe 1,000 pounds. It weighs a ton. And if you are into lawnmowers, it makes life easier versus picking it up. When you have two guys, it's easy to pick up. But over time, one guy just picking up and down, up and down. It has a hand release to lower it, and then a foot jack hydraulic to lift it up. I normally have that piece of lumber on top of it, that plywood that I made, not really made, just kind of trimmed, and put this on it so the lawnmower doesn't roll off. So it's kind of like a built-in brake. And you can see some of the painting projects we've done. The green, I think, is when we painted, I don't know, it might have been when Eddie painted his fan, actually, a long time ago. And then you can see we painted the top of a Briggs Stratton there. So those are some of the short-term projects we got going on. Well, this might be a little longer term, and I did tell Eddie, you have to get your Honda running first, because that's an in-service lawnmower he uses at the other location. It's functional, it just needs basically carburetor maintenance, clean. Then I said, then he's allowed to dig into this one. And this is me, how much patience I have. And that's what we got going on here. So we have, the garage is constantly being reorganized because we're bringing stuff in. So what's gonna happen is I have a workbench that's going to go probably back there. And there's some beach stuff here. It's still beach season as of this recording. When you see it, when you actually see this video, it will not be beach season. This stuff will be squared away in the basement. There's a couple rafts back there that we use. Under those rafts is a generator. That will probably get promoted to the front of the garage during winter months, just so I have access to it. The cornhole stuff will go downstairs. That's another car cover for the Jeep. And then in that box is a replacement for the bottom of the garage door, because there's a chunk taken out of there. I leave the lights on pretty much 24/7 in here. And when the camera's off, the radio on to detract any unwanted visitors into the garage throughout the middle of the night. And I'm not talking about humans. And then this is 1 week worth of cardboard and recycling. I was at the dump last weekend, which reminds me, kind of all over the place, but just want to show you what's going on. I had that desk project. If you follow the channel and some of the stuff inside of the house, I single-handedly, I mean, this desk probably weighs 400 pounds. It looks like it's in more pieces now. That's because I threw it out the front door. I got it to the door, and I just got it to the steps, and I flipped it off the steps. And then some of the other pieces I just threw from inside. And as I was pushing it over to this side of the yard just to get it out of the way, it was actually starting to break and everything. And I was like, why couldn't you break inside? It would make it that much lighter. So we got to hook up the trailer, and this will be a dump run next weekend. It's Saturday, and it's a weekend in September as of this recording. It's supposed to be in the 80s today, which is like rare for here. The clouds are supposed to give way to sun, so we're going to the beach. Tomorrow's supposed to rain, so the dump can wait. I don't have a pile of smelly trash, and that's really what pushes you over the edge, whether you go or not. All right, well, these lawnmower projects, speaking of rainy day, that will happen. We'll probably get back to that tomorrow. When it rains, we'll be in here and kind of working on things. And maybe while he's doing that, I'll work on this. We sometimes do that, which means one of us gets the sawhorses, usually me, the sawhorses and the board to put the lawnmower on. Okay, well, stay tuned. Thanks for watching, and talk to you later.